Today's challenge is I'm going to see if I can drive all the way to the sea in one charge in my budget electric car. Let's go. I also want to see if I can actually get 100 miles range out of this EV. But first, let's set some ground rules. If you're new here, I'm Alex. I recently bought my first electric car. It's a 10-year-old first generation Nissan Leaf that cost me just £2,400. I'm on the challenge to prove that it's still possible to drive electric on a budget and not be limited by its range. So the first rule is I'm not using any motorways to get there. I will only be using back roads where I'll be doing a lot less than 60 miles an hour. I'm not allowed to charge unless I get below 5% or 5 miles range, and I must get to the sea, no matter how long it takes. Now here are the good points about the car and things that work in my favour. It has 11 out of 12 battery bars, so the battery has been cared for properly. It's only done 61,000 miles, which is well below average for a 10-year-old electric car. I'm going to be driving it in B mode, which increases the level of regenerative braking and helps to recharge the battery and potentially helps improve the range, but we'll see about that. The car says it can do 83 miles with a 100% battery, which is what I've done. I've charged up the car to 100%. I also have a destination charger in mind that's near the beach, ready for me to be parked up at, and it looks reliable with good reviews. I also have a few backup charging options if my car doesn't get me that far. Now here are the not so good parts. It's a 10-year-old electric car with older technology. It cost me just £2,400 and it was that price for a reason, I'm guessing, or at least I'm about to find out. The suspension is a bit clunky and I've got no idea about the condition of the battery, but I'll do another video on that to find out exactly how good it is, so do hit subscribe to find out. I have already driven the car home from an almost 80-mile journey like I'm doing today, and I needed to charge halfway. It's going to be a hot day, and opening the windows and using the AC will both reduce my range, as they would just on a petrol and diesel car too. So I won't be using them unless I have to. The estimated range counter on the Nissan Leaf is known for being very unpredictable, and I've seen it change multiple times. Say it's saying 36 mile range, for example, when it's actually 50% battery, things like that. So I really don't know how this will turn out. First of all, I made some precautions, so that's been charging all night. And now I'm going to pump up all my tyres, so they are maximum efficiency mode, basically. Okay, so here's everything that I've packed. I just pumped up the tyres, so that's ready, just in case they go down again. I've got the air pump, got the warm clothes, because it's quite cold today, even though we've had good weather in the UK the last few days. Then of course I packed my 3-pin plug charger, just in case I need to stop off somewhere and use someone's home to charge it. Hopefully that won't happen, and I know what I'm doing. Then I've also got my Type 2 to Type 1 adapter, so in case I find a charger with only Type 2, which is probably quite likely, then I can charge. So I'm all packed in the boot. I've removed any extra weight, so there's nothing in the back at all. And yeah, let's have a look at the range at the moment. So if it stops beeping at you. So if you can see, it says 83 miles. Close that. So we're on 100%. It says 83 miles range. Now my destination is 76 miles away, so it should work. But the thing that goes against me is that that is not very accurate. Okay. Now let's reset the trip counter back to 0 and see how long it actually will last, the battery. So anyway, how do I feel about this challenge? Well, it's 76 miles away and I've got 83 miles to drive, so it should theoretically be fine. Although I will need to charge when I get there, and then there's the concern of the charger being, first of all, available, then being able to pay for it, which is fine, I can just tap my card. And then the other challenge is to see if it actually is working and reliable. So I want to make sure that I can drive efficiently as well, because I know it's possible. The tyres are at basically 40 PSI, which is the maximum. I do have a slow puncture at the fronts, both front tyres actually. And I'm not going to use any AC. I'm not going to charging my phone. I'm just going to leave it. I've got a halfway point where I'm going to stop and give you an update, basically, see how far I've got. I think it's like 43 miles away. So in theory, that should be just under 50%. So like 49, 48% battery left. So yeah, wish me luck. And when I get to the beach, if I get to the beach, then I'm going to go for a run. That's why I'm wearing this gym wear stuff. Cool, okay. Here we go, I guess. Okay, so I've just stopped off. What are we on the trip computer? 14.9 miles, so 15 miles. As you can see here. Can you see on that? Yeah, 15 miles. We're on 70 miles range, which is good. Now that's really good, but there was just a diversion like half a mile up the road that way. So my journey now is going to be another 2 miles. So it's going to be tight, basically. So far the journey's been good though, except there was one massive hill that I had to go up, and obviously that massively reduces your range. If I just show you the journey now, I've still got 30 miles to my halfway point. So wish me luck. So we're 31 miles in and I've still got 60 miles of range. So I think we can do this. I will comment that it is taking a long time. You know, I've been on the road for an hour and 15 minutes and I'm still like half an hour away from the halfway point. I'm driving really slowly and really efficiently. So that's probably why I'm doing so well in this challenge so far. I mean, at the same time, I'm thinking, why rush? You know, everyone's always rushing their lives, and sometimes the journey is more important than the destination. So I'm just enjoying the actual, like, really nice scenery that I'm getting here in the south of the UK, in the British countryside, that I wouldn't normally see if I was driving on the motorway and stuff like that. So it's just appreciating the little things, really, that I really enjoy. And having been away for 7 months living in Bali, you kind of forget how good the UK is, the countryside, and how good it is in the summer. So I'm really enjoying it so far. So yeah, cut to me at a halfway point where I'll give you a real update on everything that's going so far, because I haven't shown you the battery level. Even though the range is good, the battery percentage might not be. And yeah, we'll see how that looks. Okay, so massive issue. As you can see, there's a really long, for some reason, queue of traffic, and it's a warm day, so I can't put the AC on, otherwise I'll lose lots of range. So we're just about 5 miles away from the halfway point, and it says it's going to take 18 minutes to do 5 miles. But that's the best thing, I think, about EVs. When you're stuck in traffic, not moving, the engine's not being used, you're not losing range because you're not actually using the power to power the motors. So unlike a petrol or diesel car, yes, you've got start-stop technology, but most people turn that off and don't like it because it disrupts the flow. Electric cars, you just don't use any power when you're stood still. That's what people don't really think about as well when you are first switching to an electric car. Especially now I've got no AC on and sat in the boiling heat. So yeah, the journey's going well so far. 49 miles range on the dashboard. Let me just show you that, 49 miles of range. Shall I give you a reveal of the battery percentage? We're on 55%, which is just bang on, I think. Okay, I've made it halfway. We are 44.8 miles in, so let's have a look. So we're 44.8 miles in, and we're on 48 miles left, and 52% battery left. So we've done it. We've done halfway. I'm a bit nervous. I turned off the car. I'm going to save the battery, and I'm going to get some lunch now from Waitrose, which is where I stopped at. Oh dear, it took a long time. I mean, it took, how long did it take? It took 1 hour, 42 minutes just to get to the halfway point, which is obviously not sustainable. But yeah, let me stop off, and then I'll show you next how far we've got left to go. Now, I know I'm taking this to the extreme, and it's totally unrealistic to drive like this, but it does prove that driving carefully and being strategic with your journeys will make the battery last longer, and you can get a lot further. Now see how far my careful driving actually takes me, because at the end I could not believe what happened. Okay, situation update. I have got 33 miles to go, and if I check the dash, it says I've got 48 miles of range, which is fine, you know, I can make it. But first of all, I need a toilet, so I'm gonna have to stop off somewhere to find a toilet. Secondly, it's really getting hot now. It's 20 degrees and sunny, and I'd either have to now open my windows or use the AC. But at the same time, this range is not accurate. Let's just see how this gets on. And also, I've been driving really slow so far, so trying to be as efficient as possible, not taking any motorways and stuff like that. So yeah, wish me luck, and I'll get an update for you in a bit. Now, the journey took me on a bit of a dual carriageway, which instantly got me nervous, and I noticed the range dropping a little bit. But luckily, it was only for about 1 mile, and then I exited again. I made sure just to drive as efficient as possible throughout the whole trip. We are almost there. 3.5 miles to go. I just want to say I didn't have much hope that I would make it because of the fact it's a 10-year-old electric car. People rule them out all the time, saying that battery's no good, you'll never do anything with only 80 miles range, you'll never be able to find a charger that's working, etc. I also am driving a car that cost me just £2,400, which isn't exactly in great condition either. But I took as many steps as I could to drive carefully and be as smooth as possible with the acceleration, not driving much above 50 miles per hour and seeing how far you could really go on a single charge. So here's what happens when you really drive carefully in an electric car, because what I found out next was astonishing. And just like that, we have made it, everybody. And I am surprised at how well that's gone, because I've still got 25% battery. I've done 77.8 miles, and that's insane how efficient my 10-year-old electric car is. How has that happened? So yeah, it turns out my electric car can actually do 100 miles on a single charge. Make sure you watch this video next, where I show you everything wrong with my budget electric car.